Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here in the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel. Chris Halicke here, introducing another kind of football 101 type video here, and wanted to explain this particular play. This is from last season. This is a dropback pass concept, and a lot of the time what you will see offensive coordinators do is pair passing concepts where one concept's on one side and another concept's on another side, and you can read or default to a certain concept based on the coverage that you're seeing. So usually you'll have you'll split the field in half here, and on one side you'll have a middle of the field open beater, and then on the other side you'll have a middle field closed beater. And so that's pretty much what you're looking to do. You read the defense before the snap and see, okay, this looks like a middle field open coverage to me. So my default is to then read that concept first. You will have others where you come out and you look, okay, this looks like a middle field closed. This looks like going to be basic cover 3, whatever it is. So you're just going to default to running this side. And again, there are a number of pass concepts that you can do. And for this particular one, we're going to look at two concepts, one called bow, another one called shock. And shock is a trips trips concept, passing concept, where you have obviously the three receivers, 1, 2, and 3. And so again, when we're talking about numbering receivers, this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3. Even if those aren't actual receivers, they're the eligibles on that side, so that's what you just call them. You'll say, okay, well, this is the number 1, this is the number 2, this is number 3, not necessarily receivers, and then on this side, this is the number 1, this is the number 2. So shock, again, we're going to split this in half. On this side, the Steelers are running something called shock, and on this side, they're running something called bow. And to explain what this is that right here, the number 1 is going to run a quick little hitch. Okay, that's all he's running. The number 2 will run a vertical route of some kind. Now, this could be, most of the time it is a slot fade, so they kind of do that motion right there. That's most of the time what it is. And then the number 3 will run a stick route, which could be sit against zone. It could be, if it's against man, you could run that to the outside. Either way, this is the shock concept. That is what that is, shock. On this side of the field, on this side right here, it is called bow. And there are a number of ways to do this. One way is that the number 1 will run right here, and he'll run what's called an arrow route, where he will come and he'll kind of sit against zone, and then if it's man, he'll run away. And so that's an arrow route. And then behind that, this receiver will run a dig or a basic. Now, let me get rid of all that. There are a number of ways to do that. Sometimes you can have, like I said, most of the time I think you can have a number 1 be the one running the arrow route, where they could either sit or they could go to the outside. And then the basic is kind of right there, or the dig is right there, or you can have it just where this is the arrow route possibly, and then you run the dig behind it. So it's a number of ways. Here the Steelers are running, George Pickens is the number 1. He's running the basic route, the dig route, while Cordarrelle Patterson right here is running the arrow route. And again, against zone coverage, he's going to sit. Against man coverage, he will run this to the outside. So let's map out the entire play from the top down. George Pickens is running this. Cordarrelle Patterson is running this, or going to bounce that to the outside if it's against man. This right here is a stick route, which, that's going to be either a hitch or he's going to bounce that to the outside, possibly. Here you have a vertical route, and then here is just a basic hitch. So that is the play the Steelers are running. Now, let's get rid of all that, and now let's look at the defense. What's the defense doing? It looks like, based off of the 4 defenders we're getting here, that it looks like it's going to be cover 4. You've got 4 defenders deep. And the one thing with cover 4 that that you have to take into account is that, and especially if it is a team that typically does this, you have what's normally called match quarters, where you will line up your 4 deep defenders, and if that receiver runs into your area, you then latch on and play man coverage. So again, for those who didn't catch my breaking down of coverages, explaining coverages, Chalk Talk, might want to go watch it to brush up on cover 4. Cover 4 is a zone defense with man coverage principles, especially for the 4 deep defenders. So if this guy runs a go route, this defender is going to latch on and run with him. And it's the same thing. So, and then underneath you have a hook defender, then you have a curl flat, and you have a curl flat, and that would be, pretty much those 3 guys covering those zones. So, if Russell Wilson, who is the quarterback, is reading this and he sees, okay, this looks like cover 4 to me, which cover 4 is what? Is it a middle field closed or is it a middle field open? Well, it is a middle field open. Cover 2, cover 4, cover 6, those are middle field open coverages. So, if we are running Bo on this side to be our solution for middle field open, then that's what we're going to read first. If they were in cover 3, if this guy were to be dropping down and these 3 defenders would be playing back, then you might be reading shock first to beat middle field closed. But since this is middle field open, we're going to go ahead and run this. And now you're going to see, okay, so here's the snap. And you get the stick route right there from the tight end. So the stick route is going to grab this defender right there, who's the curl flat defender, so he's going to latch onto him. Remember, quarters, match quarters. Okay, so that's what those guys are reading. This guy's reading this guy, this guy's reading this guy, this guy's reading this guy. If they run toward that defender, you're going to latch on and play man coverage. If he runs toward him, he's going to play man coverage. If he runs toward him, he's going to play man coverage. So just watch the bottom of the screen for right now. Notice what the defenders do. He's got him. He's going to keep running with him. And now he sees that he didn't run anything deep, and now this defender is going to go get him. So now what he can do is then turn his attention to this side of the field. And that's what you can see that he does. Now, granted, the ball's already coming out by this point, which is why you want to split concepts up so that by the time this guy could possibly read and get over here, it's already too late. And so now let's look at the top of the screen. Okay. So this defender is reading George Pickens. He's running toward him. Now he's going to latch on and play man. But the one thing you don't want to ever do, especially in, if you're a cover 4 covering quarters, is allow this receiver to get outside of you. So which is why he's got this posture right here and playing well off and maintaining that outside leverage. Now this curl flat defender right here is going to latch on to Cordarrelle Patterson, which takes him out of the play. And this is the beauty of the Bo concept, is now the only real hope to possibly take away Pickens is this guy right here, the hook defender in the middle of the field. And Russell Wilson can use his eyes to freeze him, which he does. Notice how he looks in this direction first, which gets the linebacker to move over in that direction. And that's going to open up this window right here for him to run that dig to the inside. Now he's going to turn back. Pickens is coming out of his break. Boom. Right there. Completed pass. And then Pickens, does his crazy, funky thing and, gets a whole bunch of extra yards and does a really good job of that. So that's the beauty of pairing. And again, this is not just an Arthur Smith thing. This is offensive coordinators all throughout football, all throughout the NFL, through college. You will split the field and you'll run one concept on this side, which for this particular play is Bo, and you'll run another concept on this side, which is called shock on this particular play. And again, you typically want to have one side beat middle field open defenses, another one beat middle field closed defenses or coverages. That way you have a solution for no matter what the defense is throwing at you. And with Washington being a cover 4 team, a team that likes to use a good amount of cover 4, again, that's what you game plan for. You know, okay, there is some, and by the way, this was on 2nd and 20. So this is straight up. We have to be, in drop back pass mode. We have to get some chunk yards. We have to make third down very manageable here, much less, and the thing is that if you're going to get chunk yards on this particular play call, it's going to be on this dig right here. Because, obviously if they're in middle field closed and you're forced to throw this stick route or this hitch here or even this arrow route, you're likely going to get maybe 7 or 8 yards. You're still going to be in 3rd and long. But again, if you are expecting middle field open, then you're going to run this. And if you can freeze this hook defender in the middle of the field, then you're going to end up, this is going to be gravy. Because you won't have to worry about the curl flat defender because he's going to latch on to the arrow route. You won't have to worry about this deep defender. If anything, you'd hope that they'd be in cover 2. This would be harder to run against cover 2. And I would even say if it's cover 2, you might even want to throw this slot fade right there. Right? And the thing is that this could either be a choice route of some kind where if it's middle field open, you're going to run more of a skinny post to help, attack the middle of the field. Or if it's middle field closed, you might run the actual traditional slot fade that comes with the typical shock concept. So anyway, I hope that helped explain, one play. I mean, it's just one play, but these are concepts that are used. And by the way, bow concept, we talked about Arthur Smith's play action concepts, how he learned a lot of them from Matt LaFleur, who comes straight from the Kyle Shanahan tree. Well, guess what? Bow also comes from the Kyle Shanahan drop back passing game. So this is another Shanahan-inspired play that is in the Arthur Smith playbook. So, or a concept that's in the playbook. So really, really cool combination here. Again, finding ways to always have answers for what the defense gives you before the snap. Good execution of it here too by both Russell Wilson and George Pickens and really the rest of the offense, but particularly by Russell Wilson for freezing the hook defender, making the right read, attacking middle field open. So you throw the bow, you throw the dig off of the bow concept, and it ends up being a really big chunk play for the offense. So catch you guys tomorrow, and hope you enjoyed this one. We'll be back again with another Chalk Talk. See you then.